a couple problems with it. It's fun if you don't care about that shit, but not as much up my alley. It'd be interesting to have like the hero abilities and shit. So how do you get that element of random? So you pick your hero and then you just get dropped in and have to just like, where's the loot and what's the looting and the traveling and curious how that'll work out. Definitely interested, but we'll see. I'd like to see some shit. When's it come out? If they've announced it. $2018? Okay. I'll check it out after the stream or something. Stream won't be hyper long today. Maybe another 4 hours or something.
What the fuck?
Hmm?
I was shooting down a hill at a guy, and my shot like hit the hill, but he was able to hit me. I was aiming straight at his head, and my shot kept hitting the ground.
The shooting's kind of weird sometimes in that game. The
I
distance
really
is.
didn't agree with that. I was like top 3 right there, and I should have had him because I saw him. I had the drop on him.
It happens a lot. I'm just like, alright, I'm aiming right at a guy and then just like, I don't even know where the bullets are going. Wish they just had like a little bit of information, like a little tutorial at the beginning. If it's like a depth thing. Otherwise it's just like, is the game's shit. I know they have like weird server shit, but it can't be that consistent.
Dude, I had the high ground. I was looking down on him. I should have had him. Like, I was hitting his head in my reticule, and it hit the ground instead. And then he was able to shoot back at me from that position, which is not right.
Unless you got top 3. It's just something you gotta feel out over time. I don't know. Hopefully it's not like a server deal. So how is she gonna explain her death then? If she hadn't like hit her with the whip so much, she might be able to just explain her being dead normally.
Oh, so they're outright saying Battler didn't die. He just, like, stopped thinking. Wahoo, he's gonna fucking wreck shit. I can tell.
Or her.
Oh, wait. It's real Beatrice. Wahoo.
Oh, here's the scene I was talking about. It's going to happen.
What will happen?
She's gonna meet up with them as Shion.
Oh, I thought you meant Beatrice.
Oh.
I was like, you better not be spoiling me right now. Like, shit.
Let me oh, really? Call me that? You little shit. A fucking shit stain on my fucking shoe. No, dude. Think I would just do that to you? Just outright? What? You don't think I would do that to you, man. I don't know who you think I am, man. But you got it wrong. Hit grandma's motorcycle like nobody know. How's there going to be a meeting without the grandma? Like, Nani the fuck? She's already dead.
I'm trying to be brainstorm guy here. So they're actually giving me Nox's commandments as a tip now. Nox's first commandment: it is forbidden for the culprit to be anyone not mentioned in the early part of the story. What if Anjay? Because she's mentioned right away. Like, Anjay is mentioned in the first 100 lines of the VN in episode 1. That would be a cute thing that Ryukishi would do, I feel.
What was the commandment again?
It is forbidden for the culprit to be anyone not mentioned in the early part of the story.
Thank you.
So he made a point of mentioning Anjay 2 episodes before she showed up. Just name dropped her once and then pretty much never again.
Hmm.
Oh, dude, I love that Nox's fifth commandment is actually that no Chinaman must figure in the story.
What?
That's actually Nox's fifth commandment. You can't have a Chinese guy.
Why the fuck not?
I think it was racist.
Oh, okay. Nice, dude. We shouldn't be listening to his commands then.
It was a
Fucking no Chinaman.
yeah. Knox said, "I see no reason in the nature of things why a Chinaman should spoil a detective story, but as a matter of fact, if you're turning over the pages of an unknown romance in a bookstore and come across some mention of, are you serious? Of the narrow slit-like eyes of Chin Lu, avoid that story. It is bad." Are you serious? Knox actually wrote this shit?
Holy fuck, dude.
I didn't take
Knox,
his
the
commandments seriously.
absolute madman.
Like, I didn't take his commandments seriously from the start, but he actually put this racist shit in there?
Why the fuck did Ryukishi even fucking like care about this shit if he's gonna have
I
stuff
don't
like
know.
that?
Like, in the tips for the commandments here, the fifth one, it doesn't list it. It just says not included in the tips.
Maybe he liked the rest so much that like
I
he
guess
got
so.
past the hyper
I'm
racism.
reading this on Wikipedia, and it's saying that the No Chinaman rule was a reaction to and criticism of racial cliches prevalent in 1920s English writing. So I guess he thought that the only way Chinese people could be written in stories was like a racist way.
I mean,
So he
different
just
times,
outright
I
said,
guess.
"Don't do it."
I mean, maybe he wasn't racist then.
I mean, either way, he's a fucking idiot.
Either way, that's retarded. Yeah. He doesn't have much of an imagination, then, man.
He wasn't. I mean, good. He's still stupid
I was
though.
like, I guess he's not, but I mean, different times and stuff. Nowadays, I could be like, well, it's easy to write a Chinese guy into something and not be a stereotype. But maybe back then it was just like this unheard of thing.
I've never really like agreed with his commandments as being hard things. Like, you are allowed to break these. It's not that big a deal. If you do it well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's all about doing it well. Like in the early times of the mystery genre, there wasn't enough like subtlety and detail work going on. I could probably make like something that breaks those rules work. I feel like a lot of old mysteries. Well, maybe they're not basic, but nowadays you need to be able to break those rules. You got to make them less basic. Or just be like god tier fucking delivery.
Of course, if done well, it doesn't matter. Well, tell that to Knox, dude.
What if I put a good Chinaman in my story? Is it still not allowed, dude? Easily to hack, right? Yeah, I mean, you're right. I see what you mean. It's more like guidelines than like rules.
Is that a Pirates of the Caribbean reference?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
What? Is it?
Dude, that was a big, like, spouted thing when the first Pirates of the Caribbean came out.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, "Parlay, I want parlay," and like, well, parlay is more like guidelines and actual rules missing.
Oh, yeah, sorry. No. The only fucking thing I quote from Pirates of the Caribbean is "Do you believe in ghost stories, Miss Swan?" and like a couple other one-offs.
Poor souls who spent hours thinking theories for a little monkey who fled the zoo to be the culprit. Was that an actual story?
I guess so. I mean,
Actually, I've read most of the Sherlock Holmes works. I think some of them are bad, but some are pretty nice.
I need to read some old school mysteries.
Like I have a couple books that are like a collection of pretty much all the Sherlock Holmes short story shit, and some of them are weird, but some are nice, and I don't think it's all bad.
I wonder like some super hyper famous shit outside Sherlock Holmes. It's like some agreed upon godly mystery. I need to read some. Agatha Christie novels? Yeah, that's one I was heard the name of. So it's like pretty dark books, or is it just good mystery? And then there were none. This little episode. Oh, I've heard of it. And then there were none. I need to read that for sure. That's one I actually hear about a lot. If it's also good, why not? I don't know how long that shit is. I haven't read a book in a while. I need to. Used to love reading. I'm reading a book right now, almost, I guess, man. I just got rid of the backgrounds and the music. It's just like a book. Fat man with a cigarette. We gotta get to see the spooky CG again, boys. That they need more of. Okay. Ken-chan.
Base battler shitting on the commandments as being silly.
Ace Goto talking with a mouthful of fucking food.
It's a candy cane.
Ooh. I haven't had a candy cane in forever. I'm jelly. Batala-san. What do we got? The murders. Jesus, man. Fuck old people, dude.
I agree.
Good man.
I get real tired of these old fucks.
Mm-hmm. Good man. That's why I keep you around, bud. Someone to parrot shit that I agree with. Make me feel better. It's like always stupid shit too, like tradition. Oh, don't go in the room with the special gods. It's like I could understand you might be angry from some kind of tradition like that, but just killing a man, dude. Come on. Right. So these people pretty much kill for like anything, man. So you could just say all the murders up to this point are just like them fucking slightly angry at people.
Wahoo!
Wahoo, but some shit still, it's a little out there. Oh, doesn't Kimiyoshi go missing too? Maybe she's gonna kill him though. I don't think he did. He did at some point, I thought, but I thought it was in this episode. I think they explain it because of the lock on the door thing. I mean, this episode she's gonna get the kids too, man. Oh shit. Go fucking mass murder on this shit.
By using the Decalogue as a crutch, we are given the courage needed to use reasoning, as well as the willpower to reread the tale several times in search of the clues we know must be hidden there. I'm not going to do that. I am
You don't
willing,
feel the courage, man?
but I won't. Because I have got other shit to do, and I'm not going to replay Mineko before I've even finished it just looking for clues. I already wrote down, like, all the red that was of any relevance.
Really, nobody does that.
Yeah,
I mean, not what you're saying, but like going back and rereading the entire thing.
yeah, I don't think people do.
Yeah, it's just
I
stupid
mean, if
shit
it was
he
a
writes.
book, I would like write down pages where there was stuff, and I would go, okay, I'm gonna look at these pages again. I'm gonna reread what I think was a hint and see if I can make sense of it. But it's not a book. I can't just I can't pull up the text of Umineko so far and run a search.
Hmm.
So I'd have to write it down as I went, and Umineko is long as fuck.
Oh, ho, ho.
I can understand why they'd want to criticize it. They try to solve it, believe it's solvable, and follow the Decalogue, but it's actually not made to be solvable at all. I can understand how that'd get pretty annoying. Remember 11.
Mm.
The funny thing is that Remember 11 can actually be solved and outright explains its solutions to you in many instances, and people still get mad. Looking at you, Fasto.
Blinded by fury. We'll get mad because the game's missing the third one. Ah, why do you... Of course they're gonna have a fucking twisted vision of
I'll kill
everything.
you.
Come get me, man. I'm waiting. I can take it. Gonna shows up. He's like 8 feet tall, 300 pounds of rock solid fucking muscle. Ah! AKs and grenades and machetes.
Oh, really? That's convenient.
Yeah. You should be scared, bud.
I was quoting Badler. I can understand why they'd want to criticize it. They try to solve it, believe it's solvable, and follow the Decalogue, but it's actually not made to be solvable at all. I can understand how that'd get pretty annoying. Then I said, Remember 11, and I said, looking at you, Fasto.
You should have not told him what you said. Left it a mystery.
No,
Spooky
I wanted to
mystery.
solve it.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, you can't solve it. That's correct. I was just saying people get mad about it. I disagree. I think even if there was the the rest of the Satoru route, it would still have left out that part. Now, if you want to argue about a third route being cut, there's not as much evidence for that. There is like a header in the files that indicates a third route, but there's really no indication of what it would have been, how long it would have been, anything. So it could have been cut like real early in development and not actually been the thing. I absolutely agree. There is stuff that should have been included in Satoru Route Epilogue. Like it should have gone on for longer, and it should have had like a more definite end than just like Lynn looked at me, brr,
Wow.
and it should have gone on longer and dealt with some stuff. But the nature of the thing is that you're not supposed to solve it. The player, they take mercy on the player and they include that tip that indicates stuff to you, and you're like, oh, like there's some bonus tips you can get to make sense of things. And then years after the fact, with the PSP release, they did the timeline, which has a lot of information in it. But as far as the inclusion of stuff in the content of the game itself, until you get to that final tip, you're not supposed to be able to like fully understand it, which is the point. Now in Umineko, you're clearly supposed to be able to solve this stuff. So from what I know about Umineko, I know people complain about the ending. Like I know people use that screenshot of Ryukishi in I forget which episode it is. Katie hasn't seen it yet, but it's like the bonus thing after the end of one of these episodes where he says that a book of riddles without an answer guide is no good. Like Ryukishi straight says that after one of these episodes, and people use that and compare it to Umineko and go, like he totally changed gears. So I'm feeling like he's probably gonna not explain stuff very well and expect you to solve it, and I'm gonna be like, well, that's great, dude, thanks. I hope it is solvable. I just hope it's not like retarded difficult to solve. Like, I've been trying to think of stuff the entire time, and I'm not doing a great job, but I don't want to get shit on. Also, that would be a bad ending, Fasto. That would be like shitty.
I'll grab some tea.
Oh, sad little Katie.
Why? Why?
You don't get to talk about stuff.
I could. I'm just spacing out, dude, because I'm fucking tired. I'm not sad, man. The fuck? I ain't getting no fucking spoilers or nothing. So I keep my mouth closed.
Better closure than Mad Woman? Dude, no. I'm saying the concept of what you're talking about would be a shitty ending for Remember 11. It would be, like, completely antithetical. Why was that scene needed anyway? To go, it's not over. I really don't know if they originally planned that one, because I've dug into the files plenty. I actually found out that final CG with Keiko holding the baby, it's smaller than the other CGs. It's like its resolution is 640 by 480 instead of 800 by 600. So I don't know if it was a rush job or if the reason that it's smaller is because of the render resolution for the video files, which there is a video file that leads up to her in that CG, was that resolution. So I'm not sure if they planned it or not, or if it was a hastily added last thing. I can't be sure on that. I feel like it's a legitimate inclusion because it actually tells you, no, you idiots. Failing to recognize Satoru, I mean, let's be honest here, who doesn't get the White Room ending first? Who doesn't really get the White Room ending first? Very few people. Like, the best way for it to have ended would have been for things to continue on past that point, baby dies, whatever. And then at the end of it all, the person you're playing as dies, and that's it. It shouldn't have been Lynn points at you and then end. But the general concept of the player is bad is fine. It shouldn't have been a good ending. Like, you're saying it should have just been a repeat of Ever 17, which is completely not the, like, that's not good. That doesn't jive with Remember 11. That's completely against what it's about. It feels too abrupt. I mean, the thing with Remember 11 is it's supposed to fuck you. Like, it's supposed to go, that's it. And then you replay it and you get more context and you find things out and you actually try and understand like what's going on in the background. And then you find out if you get all the tips and you're like, oh. But the entire thing with Remember 11 is that it was originally conceived as a kind of anti-Ever 17, like the opposite of Ever 17 in a lot of respects. And I think that's important. It was not supposed to be like a happy ending, everyone has sex on a boat, and like Ever 17.
Sex on a boat, yes, please.
You get it, but it's so abrupt. Again, like I agree that there should have been more instead of just Lynn pointing end. But no matter how much it got fleshed out after that point, it should still have ended with the main character's death. Not necessarily Kokoros, but yours. That is the best and most fitting ending for Remember 11 as it stands. You could do a third route past that point. You could have it be long and meaningful and build on it and do different things. Remember the feeling of being blue-balled? Like they don't already, dude. But having, like, from the perspective of how you play in Remember 11, from the perspective of Satoru, Self-Toru, having a happy ending is against the meaning of the VN, of the story. And it should not have had a happy ending from that perspective. It should only have had a happy ending from, like, real Satoru's perspective. And I guess Kokoro, because who cares? but the way that he ends up should be death. I don't think I can really budge on this. I think it's really important. Compared to Fata Morgana, where the ending is so good, it subconsciously will make your opinion of it better. No. Why would I compare Remember 11 to Fata Morgana? And why would...
I'm just saying that it's so strong that it makes you feel like the whole thing's better instead of leaving like a bad taste in your mouth. I don't think it means the content itself.
Well, no, like, why would you say that the ending is so good it will subconsciously make it better? That's not true. If the ending's good, then you like the ending. I mean, personally, I think the ending for Fata Morgana is fine. I don't think it's amazing. I think the ending for Fata Morgana is totally fine and fitting. It doesn't, like, blow me away, but it doesn't, like, make me like the entire VN more. I like Fata Morgana because it's just well made. I like the story. I think the characters are great. I don't give a fuck about endings, really. Like, not in comparison to the hours I spend on all the other content in the VN.
Yeah.
I think a fitting ending is great. Like, it's really nice to have an ending that reflects the story. But the meat of the story is not the ending. The ending can mean something, and it can be kind of like a punctuation mark at the end of the sentence. But an ending is very brief. It's everything else that matters. Like,
I feel like it depends on the kind of story too. Something like a mystery, the lead up, and I guess it depends on the person too, how much they care about the journey and how much they care about the payoff.
Like, look at Higurashi. The ending of Higurashi, whether you like it or hate it, doesn't really impact the 100 hours you spent getting to that.
Yeah.
The ending for each individual episode does not really impact the 10 hours you spent getting to that.
I mean, I think there's a good argument that the ending shouldn't matter that much, but it still does. It's the same reason you write like a really strong final paragraph in like an essay or something. Like, the what you walk away with still matters. I know,
that's just
it's
because
like,
people walk away with it and stick with it because it was the last thing they experienced.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's like good or bad. I'm just saying, like, even if not everybody's perfect, it still matters a bit. I see where he's going. I'm not arguing one thing or the other. I see where he's coming from at least.
Like, if the ending for Umineko sucks, I'm not gonna hate Umineko because of the ending. I would only complain about Umineko for the parts that I've already complained about. Up to and including the ending, of course. If the ending's bad, then the ending's bad. But it's not gonna make me hate the good parts of Umineko, which there have been good parts. Plenty of them. I don't overwrite my opinions of something after the fact, is the main thing. I don't get to the end of Ever 17 and go, dude, that was so nice. I totally don't care about the fact that I spent 30 minutes on chicken sandwiches every 5 minutes.
Yeah. That's where I hate that.
I'm still going to remember that. I'm still going to remember that it was a slog at times, that it did bad things, but I will remember the good too. And the ending does matter, but it doesn't define the thing.
You don't think something could be made that the ending's like so important to the whole thing that it like is super intrinsically tied to like the entire package? Like they have to be like really separate?
Well, let's say that you make this mystery novel.
Yeah.
Okay, so you make this mystery novel and it's compelling and it's great and there's stuff going on and you're theorizing and everything's good. And then you get to the end of it and it turns out that it was aliens the whole time with teleporters, and this is not foreshadowed or anything, it's just like thrown in out of the blue and is bad. Do you hate the entire thing, or do you appreciate the setup and then shit on it for being completely stupid at the end for a mystery novel?
I mean, that'd be me. That's what I do with Danganronpa, and that's what I do with shit like Remember 11. I'm
You
definitely
do
the
what?
kind of guy, well, that can separate it out and appreciate what was good and what wasn't.
Like
What I
the
walk
entire
away with
thing.
isn't like the most important thing, but I feel like
Yeah,
it still has value.
like the entire thing, if it builds to that point and then just goes full retard, I don't forget the build. It was part of the experience, absolutely. But the bad, like the shitness of the ending, does not overwrite the quality of the previous parts.
Yeah.
So, yes, it becomes overall worse, but it is not wholly defined by the end.
Yeah, not wholly defined, but definitely more defined.
I'm talking about an overall opinion. That's one thing. I'm talking about individual complaints and individual appreciations and praises versus changing everything you think just because that one part at the end was so cool.
Something like Danganronpa 3, like, the expectation for like 40 hours is like one of the biggest things. So, like, what
Yeah,
actually
like
happens is really massive. Like, it's really awesome build up, but like, it is fucking super important what happens
yeah,
because the entire feeling you have the entire time is the expectation.
like with V3 was, I mean, it wasn't amazing. It was not
I
better
mean,
than
2 had better
2,
build up and it had better
but
events, but it still
while I was
was.
streaming it, it was fine. I was enjoying it enough. I was like, okay, this is about what I expected. This is fine. I got to the ending, and the ending was just bullshit. And I was like, you know what? I'm just not even going to finish. I'm done playing this. I don't care. I lost some progress. I'm not going to continue. And that's fine, because I don't give a fuck about the ending. What I remember from DRE3 is that it was about middle of the road as far as mystery games go. It was okay. Puzzling, it was fine. But also, the ending was trash. So when people defend the ending, I'm like, shut the fuck up. But if you defend the mystery and the puzzles and stuff, I'm like, that's fine. It was enjoyable enough. It was standard fare for a Danganronpa game.
I feel like that's the problem with people's opinions and people who critically review shit is they're not good at breaking down like the piece, man. It's like their final impressions and that's like it, you know, and they don't think about like the time they spent on everything before it and all the things that were nice. It's just
Now
like
compare this to Zero Time Dilemma, which actually the entire time was bad, like extremely bad, all the time, pretty much. The puzzles were not very good. The characters were always bad. The music was just rehashes of previous stuff. The story was laughable at best. And it just did nothing good, pretty much. So that one was unequivocally horrible. Oh, poor little man typing because he can't talk.
oh, I'm gonna fucking type to him because I'm not gonna. You want me to fucking say? I was just saying that I think Over 17 is an example of an ending making my overall impression of something better.
Right.
And I
Like
feel
Ever
like
17 is
so what if
better.
something like on purpose makes something like really shitty leading up, you're confused, like nothing makes sense, just weird shit. then like magically the ending like ties weird shit together and makes it like awesome. Is it like, do you like forgive like the parts before it, or I mean,
No, I don't really forgive it.
even if that was like somebody's entire vision from the start, like it was a necessary journey to make like this amazing ending or some random bullshit.
No.
You think that it all should be good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Higurashi's a great example of this, actually. Higurashi was all very deliberate. Like, there is a lot of foreshadowing from like the start about various things that I'm not going to go into. Um, there's definitely like the Higurashi was all planned out. So when I got to the end, I was like, okay, well, I can see what he was going for. Wasn't bad, but could have been a lot better than it was for sure. And I didn't really like the ending very much, but whatever.
I mean, I've definitely had that feeling fast, and I feel like it's impossible to like totally escape from that feeling. I don't think you should like always not want that. Like, there's a lot of things where I'll watch it and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool, and then like it just ends on such a sputter or something. You just don't care about it anymore, and you don't feel like putting in the time to think about like any strong points or like low points. It's just like, okay, like maybe that just says that the journey wasn't as strong as you thought it was before the end, but I don't know. Like, I don't think that's wrong. That's what a lot of people, how a lot of people think.
When I think back on stuff, I definitely don't think about the ending first. Think about the overall. Dude,
Yeah,
I gotta rub the cat.
rub the cat. Yeah, for me, it's always big, broad brushstroke, like
For
kind
me,
of.
it's a nice hot slice of Papa John's pizza.
Hey, fuck you, buddy. Go rub your pussy. I'm bringing the tier that ignores good parts if the ending sucks or the other way around. Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're thinking about the whole package and you can like see people's arguments for why this is good or this is bad, or why you can like, think some arguments have more weight than others and shit, then like who cares, right? At the end of the day, like if you think like you always think about the ending and your lasting impressions, like that's totally fine. That's how I am with a lot of shit. If it's that good, like yeah. When I always think of the most emotional parts of Fata Morgana and shit, like I'm always thinking like the end and shit. But I don't know. When I think of just Fata Morgana in general, it's just the whole package. I don't think that's the wrong way to think. I think it's just different for each person. I'm spacing a little bit too. I'll be in the middle of a fucking thought, and then I'm just like, what the hell was I talking about? Sorry if it comes across as really dumb. I'm thinking about it, but then like as I'm talking, I'm thinking about a different thought there. I had disjointed sleep, and I plan on sleeping here in like 3 hours to try to